Well, that was weird, wasn't it? We started, and we usually start here, don't we? Not this time. That's hilarious. Hey, let's get going. Oh man, hopefully y'all can hear me. The headset is beginning to show signs of death throes. We are almost in the market for a new one, baby. Not quite though. And while we've got it, we're going to use it. And while we're using it, we're going to talk. And when we talk, we're going to run, because this is right along with Run Man. Particularly right now in this moment with your host, Run Man, that is me. We are currently recording episode 35. I believe that's what's happening right now. Yes. 34 was a breath cast. We were doing some Wim Hof breathing. It was sweet. And, well, gosh, diddly dang darn. If that wasn't a, I almost swerved into the recycling guy. Our recycling is not out at the house, and the can is full, but usually the last truck comes by around 2:30, and it's 11:30 right now, so we got time. I'll do it on the way back. I don't want to do it right now. I want to run right now. And you know how much I want to run? Here's what I'm going to say. I want to run so bad because I'm so pep. I'm so pep right now. I'm so happy right now. All the coffee in the world is in me. Actually, that was yesterday. I dumped a mocha on top of the 2 regular cups of coffee, and it was nuts. Whew, I had gas. I had some rumbling. Today, though, it was 2 cups. And it was some sauerkraut. We're all probiotic, and we had some beans and pizza last night. Things are juicy and aloof. But no, man, I'm just so damn pep. Life is so good. Why? What is special? There's a special air. But I'll be the first to tell you, that special air comes from nothing. There's nothing special going on. It's special for no reason. It's the weirdest thing in the world. But while we've got it, we've got to take it and ride with it, right? That's the name of the podcast. While it's around, we got to make some use of it, because it's not going to be around every time, every day. Someday, I'll be running this very track. Maybe 10 runs from now, maybe 20 runs, and I'm going to feel like donkey ass. It's going to be the worst. But not today. Today the lightning is in the bottle. Oh, and it's so good. Coming out with both barrels today. And we're going to jump over this thing. Because, why? Why did I just jump? Because I learned that I have repaired my perineal circuitry to the point where when I jump and land, neither the impact nor the springing, even if I do it intensely, does not hurt. To me, that's a miracle, because it's been 3 years. Incidentally, we recorded basically on the 3rd anniversary of me receiving that perineum injury from jumping off a bridge into some water. I keep coming back to 40 feet. I think it was 40 feet. Might have been 50. It might have been. I'm just remembering how many seconds it was in the air. Oh, man. But ever since then, spontaneous cramping. And also cramping whenever I would jump. Particularly if I wasn't, like mentally focused on the jumping. Like surprise jumps would just always, boom, pain blossom. But now I can jump. And I can jump, and you can come with me. We can jump together. Jumpcast. Welcome to Jumpcast. I'm Eddie Van Halen. No, I'm not. I'm just me. I'll tell you what, though. I can point you, realistically, at a little thing. 2 little things. How about that? One, I was a little angsty about the podcast. A couple of days ago, I learned my reach is spreading a little, and I thought about, God, people are actually listening to a couple of these. That's really interesting to feel. And it felt like, oh God. We talked about curation and self-censorship. Then I thought, after about a day of sweating it, I was like, I don't care. I love people. I love running. I love casting. The point of this thing is that we are running. We have run decently. Almost 40 times now. Before that, we ran okay, and I didn't record it hundreds of times. Before that, running was a chore. I did it, but it was very painful. Of the 35, and this is number 35, that we've recorded together, I could say I've only been in pain a couple of times. You get me out there for a chunk of what was that? I uploaded a bunch today. Or rather, I made public and playlist organized 3 episodes today. No, 4, because of Breathcast. So, and each one of those runs were very long. They were an hour and a half-ish. One of those runs was 4 Chronicles. It was 33 minutes, followed by 33 minutes, followed by 33 minutes, followed by 2 minutes. That was 33. Episode number 33. It was a very good episode. Anyway, it's funny. And I haven't been in pain. But it's funny. One of the Game Grumps says that his management of Aaron, I've talked about Aaron, Ego Raptor Hansen, who is one of the duo that is the primary Game Grumps. There's a lot of secondary ones. Grumps at large, let's say, rather than Grumps at the helm. Ross is a Grump, Susie's a Grump. Barry's probably still a Grump. Hopefully, I think so. Kevin, you're probably still a Grump. Watch your drinking, buddy. Oh, this sign says there's a project in the works. Another community improvement project. Pavement maintenance. Cool. Except that this sidewalk is kind of, by California standards, I don't know. There's a crack every 10th thing, or a hole every 4th or 5th. This is a fine sidewalk. What are you talking about? Or by pavement do they mean? What is pavement? Is pavement sidewalk or is pavement road? The road ain't bad either. I don't know, there's some cracks, I guess. How do you like me pointing you at the... Oh, okay, that's construction. Let's, Okay, there's lots of cracks. But they're all very, manageable. I wouldn't feel it driving over this. And my car feels... I always drove relatively small cars. And they always feel every pebble in the road. This is a perfectly fine road. So strange. Well, hey, let the boys work. Goodness knows. I can think of a couple of roads that would love a little bit of love. Whatever. It's all part of life. Just like this brewing, percolating bowel movement that I've got ready to happen as soon as I pull the trigger. But we're holding. This is a short run. This is a reintroductory run. I was talking about the Game Grumps. That's right. Aaron Ego Raptor Hansen, one of the Grumps, says that his management of like 4 simultaneous careers, cartoon artist, comedian, TV show host, musician. Actually, it's like 3 of them. 3 of his businesses and career projects only succeed as well as they do because he's manipulating himself away from his true dream, which is the animation one. He doesn't do a lot of cartoon animating, but it is his like first and brightest burning passion. Is this the same sign but on this part of the road? Sure is. Sure is. Alright. So yeah. His 3 businesses, and they're just ways for him to procrastinate getting back into cartoonism. How about that? So, in the same way, my bringing up of 1,000 topics is kind of my way of sidelining myself so I can push myself out of the driver's seat and let the vehicle drive the way that it wants to drive. The thing that I was going to bring up right at the door and was laughing, and I ended up taking a picture and having to reboot the camera instead of recording. So I was already kind of discombobulated. But the thing that I was going to say was that part of my being full of good feeling was that the last words I heard before I headed out the door, the ones that really nailed it in and like caused my shoes to fly on and my beloved mic to plug in is seemingly on its own into my phone. The words were like laughing and giggling words between like 4 or 5 people who were hanging out on the Tiger Belly podcast. So Bobby Lee, the comedian, is in Hungary, or was as of that episode. It was a couple of days ago. And his wife Kalila was holding down the fort. But she doesn't like podcasting alone. She likes, and she doesn't like leading either. She likes supporting and assisting. She likes being a part of things. So she brought in one of Bobby's exes that she was like at one point like intimidated by. But finally when they met, they got along pretty well. And they laughed and had a good time. Another comedian, if I remember correctly. Her name was... Damn, what's her name? Catherine? Kayleen? I don't know. She's really tall and beautiful, but has the voice of a child. Very strange. Very strange. She sounds like way up here. I can't even go that high. I would need to concentrate really hard to bring my voice up that high without spasming and coughing. Anyway, so Catherine or Kayleen or whatever her name is and Kalila were hanging out, and then the podcast official guest showed up. Name is Stevie Weeby, who I've never seen him before, but I've heard of him. I think he's a comedian as well. And he's an old friend of actually everybody on the podcast. But the second that he opened the door, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Stevie Weeby, yes!" And they lost their shit. It was awesome. And you just saw it and you felt it. You felt it. Apparently it's been a year since Steve and Kalila and Bobby hung out. And apparently it's been like 10 years since Steve and Kayleen, or whatever her name, hung out. And the regard and the fondness and the love were just so palpable. Oh, I gotta poop. Whew. Hold and run, soldier. Hold and run. But they missed each other so bad that the emotion was just super raw and awesome when they all met up again. It was cool. It was so cool. Gosh, I'm just replaying that moment over and over again in my mind. It's like, yes, I'm an emotional guy, and so much talk. I spent 3 hours yesterday listening to Joe Rogan and Brett Weinstein talk to this guy about, talk to this doctor about one chemical whose various forms of treatment, and well, it was a medical podcast, basically, so a lot of intellectual material passed from a lot of educated people, and of course Joe, who is sort of a world-educated person. A lot of intellectual. There was emotion too, but there was definitely fuel in charge, but it was mostly facts. So I spent all the time, and that's what you see. If you look up Andrew Huberman's podcast, it's just med school. It's just, we are going to learn about nerves, chemicals, hormones. We're going to learn about rhythms of primates and diurnal cycles and metabolic stuff and synapses, and here's what caffeine does. And he's even trained himself not to blink that much and to focus his eyes really hard all the time so as to increase his resting alertness level when conversing with people, or when he's doing his job, which is cool, but makes him look a bit like a robot, and it's kind of frightening. Because he's a doctor, but he's definitely built like RoboCop. Like, you put a battle axe in his hand, he doesn't look like he belongs in a lab coat. But here he is. Anyway, so that's the dominant character of the internet, which is intellectual. And of course, yeah, there is this large swimming underbelly of emotion, but the one that you see is mostly anger, mostly on Twitter. But I watch podcasts for the content. Content can be intellectual, and it can be emotional. I'm careful about what I watch. I watch the Game Grumps because they're fun, and they're friends. Or they're not. But the feeling of the show is solidly in the positive. Even though half of the show is Aaron melting down. And Dan being like, Aaron, come on, bro. It's okay. Aaron's like, no, it's not. And he just commits to the bit of the meltdown, even if he really isn't bugged that much. That's what comedians do. They exaggerate. They find hyperbole and they pull at the strings. And they slingshot comedy into your brain hole. Then they load up and they do it again. And we laugh our butts off. That's why I watch it. Because I like laughing. It's worth it to have a life where I'm laughing more. Even if it's not particularly stimulating intellectually. Just like watching Gab. These are gamers, you know? I don't even game that much at this point in my life. But I like watching gamers. And I like it when they're promoting good vibes. Gab Smolders has good vibes. Real good vibes. Chill vibes. Sometimes I don't want stimulation. Sometimes I want to just chill back with a friend. And I don't get that, but I'm not getting that in those experiences, but I'm getting a surrogate. I'm getting something that's functional from these podcasts. It's like I know the Grumps aren't my friends. I've seen them. I was once like 50 feet away from them at like one of their shows. I didn't have a particular urge to rush the stage or anything. I was like, oh yeah, there they are. Timmy and Arnold, good boys. Cool. Fuck, they're tall. Those were the thoughts that I had when I saw the Grumps. And yeah, I just hold these people in high regard for putting out something good. Something good that's not the Andrew Huberman good, which is just this intellectual, awesome stuff, but it can be dry. It can be dry. And we're almost, I still haven't said the one thing that got me out here. Which was just that feeling. The charged feeling, the, oh yeah, feeling of, oh my God, it's you. Fuck, it's you, yes. Yes, and everyone's jumping up and down. So good. It's so good. Cheerful welcome emotions. The charge of friendship. Even if I don't have the whole story. So, that's what got me motivated. Hell, I got a run out of it. That means that podcast has value. I've only seen like 10 minutes of it so far. I'm gonna check out 10 more and then go on a video call. That's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna podcast. Again and again and again. 1,000 years. Until the end game. And I'm bringing you along. We're going to learn how. We're going to find out whether I break this up into seasons or not. Whether I do this all at once or not. Whether in 6 months I'm at the doorstep of the end game or not. Okay, this has been Ride Along with Run Man. I'm your host, Run Man. We're not going to do the sitting, breathing part because I'm strapped for time and for bowel movements. Oh, God. So take care of yourselves. I love you. Okay. Okay, signing off. Goodbye.